few minutes. Here we go. Let's get started here. Let's go ahead and get my Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. My name is Don Daniel, founder of Pill Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. For 18 years, we've been here giving people information. Well, not here on the internet, but we have been available to give people this kind of information on how to read an amortization schedule. That schedule is the most inefficient way to pay back a loan on the planet. How the bank amortizes a loan, we need to know about it. We need to know how it's constructed so we can deconstruct it. We need to know what it's doing so that we can have money in our pockets instead of giving it to the bank. Listen, how would you like to be able to pay off all of your debt in an average of 7 to 9 years? How would you like to be able to cut your interest costs by 75%? How would you like to be able to do that? So it's very, very, very important that we pay attention to what we're talking about today, especially with these higher interest rates. What can be done? If you want to see my screen, you want to go to YouTube. All right. So let me see if I can get that. Let me go ahead and get that YouTube link for you. We'll put it in the chat. All right. And let me see here. All right. YouTube. All right, there we go. And we're going to put that in the chat for you so that if you want to see what's going on, you will be able to see. All right, there we go. And that, yeah, right there. Just like that. So we're going to share. All right, copy that. All right, we're going to put it in the chat. That's the link for YouTube. Come on, paste. There we go. Copy and paste and sending it out. Good morning to everybody on Clubhouse. Good morning to everybody who's watching us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So today we're going to get started talking about, did you realize for the last 3 weeks, interest rates have been above 7%. What are some of the things people do to bring down the cost of borrowing? All right. They say, well, I don't like that idea of 7 or 7.5%. Today, we're going to be talking about a 7.5% mortgage. I don't like that 7.5%. What can we do? Can we put a larger down payment down? Can we, and I don't believe in putting 20% down if you don't have to. Can I show you an example of a $350,000 mortgage and putting down 20%? What that would do for us? If you want to see what we're talking about, go to YouTube and check in. If you're already on one of the other social media outlets, you don't have to worry about that. You're going to be taken care of. And let me see here who's in the comments. Good morning, David Hunt. Good morning to you. He says good morning in the comments. And I'm going to say good morning to everybody here on Clubhouse. Good morning. All right. Do me a favor, folks on Clubhouse. As long as you're here, you might as well come to the stage and listen. When you come to the stage, it actually helps to grow the room. Good morning. There you go. And send that out to everybody. Tell me where you're from. Everybody that's listening right now, tell me where you're from while I set up this first example. All right. And raise your hand, come to the stage. You don't have to say anything. You can just sit there and learn. So if you're going to be there, all right, come on up, Deborah. All right, invite Deborah up to speak. And Deborah, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Did you have a question or a comment about what we're talking about today?
Not yet. I'm up here to listen and learn,
Good.
and then I'm sure I'll have a question in a minute.
Sounds good. Thank you for being here. All right. Anybody else, just like Deborah, if she's just here to listen and learn, raise your hand, come to the stage, and sit on the stage. Every one of Deborah's followers just got notified that she's in this room. That's going to help to grow the room. Also, go down and share this room out on Clubhouse. All right. Go out and share and invite a few people in. It's as easy as hitting that up arrow and sharing it out into the hallway so people can see it. Also, come to the stage. I see Angie, I see Randy, I see Sin, I see Carlisle. Listen, come on up to the stage, and you'll be able to see what's going on. All right, now, and listen from there. But if you want to see what we're doing, go to YouTube, and not only go to YouTube, but I need you to also subscribe. So we're going to put our little subscribe banner up. All right, and subscribe to YouTube. All right, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And when you hit the subscribe button, also like some of the videos and share the videos and make comments. Those are the very important, that we understand how you're feeling about things. David Hunt, why don't you come on up, raise your hand. Why don't you come up to the stage, invite to speak? All right, invite him up and just sit on the stage. You don't have to say a word. Anybody else, come on up. Now, while we're doing that, while we're getting ready to do this, here's what I need you to do. I need you to focus. I need you to focus on my screen that I'm getting ready to put up. And let me see here. I have to change this over so that we can have, let me see here. We're going to go to add this to the screen. There we are. All right. So let me see here. We're going to take our subscribe button off. No, we'll leave it on. We'll leave it on. All right. So we've got 300 and we got a $350,000 mortgage at 7.5%. Now, let me see here. And this is for 30 years. All right. And let me see if I can find, let me see here. I put one up for 240. No, I don't want that one yet. Okay. We want to do one for 280,000 as well. We're going to move that one over to here. Okay. So if we put $70,000 down on this thing, all right, then you would be able to get a payment of $1,957.80. So if I was trying to do something like that, I'm trying to bring down the payment just because I want to bring down the payment. Yeah, I would put 20% down. I'd put 20% down. But you know what? If you just leave it alone or put even just 10% down, then you will be able to do something that most people are unaware of. Watch this. Just want to show you the difference between 0 down and 20% down. Okay. So here is $350,000 on this mortgage. All right. We're starting out at payment number 1. If we put $70,000 down, we start out at $280,000 on payment number 1. Okay. Now watch this. If I take the $300,000 and I don't put the $70,000 down, that means I still have the $70,000 in the bank to be able to use. But if I wanted to, now do you see this column here? This is cumulative principal. Cumulative principal is very important. I need you to, I need everybody to go make a note. Play around with this amortization schedule. BrettWhistle.net. BrettWhistle.net. All right. And Randy says, good morning. He's heading to YouTube. He's going to be watching this. So I'm going to put this in the chat. Brett Whistle. All right. WHISSEL.net. Okay. And then you want to find his amortization schedule. The reason why this is important, because most people don't understand how this works because they have no idea how fast the interest accumulates. The cumulative interest, we have no idea because we don't pay attention to that. We're not taught to pay attention to how the interest accumulates. Let me show you what I mean. We're going to take a look at the cumulative interest column. That's column 1, 2, 3, 4. And in 1 year on this loan, 1 year on this loan, look at this. Look how much interest. $26,000 in interest. $26,000 in just interest. By year two, $52,000 in interest. By year three, $77,000 in interest. By at the end of year four, already you've borrowed $350,000. But by the end of year four on this mortgage, you will pay $102,000, almost $103,000 in interest. That is crazy. That's crazy. This is what this show is all about. Understanding how this thing is constructed so you don't have to pay all of that interest. I mean, that's 1/3 of what you borrowed already in just 4 years. But at the end of 5 years, $127,996.09. Don't forget the 9 cents. So, what is happening here? What are we talking about? Why don't we show what would happen? All right. So it says, well, Don, if I put $70,000 down, well, my interest is a little bit. I got 20,000 here. I got 41,000 there. I got 36. I got, I'm saving some money here. All right. At the end of 5 years, I only have 102,000. That's still too much. That's still too much. What could you do with your $70,000 instead of putting it as a down payment? What if you got your entire loan here at $350,000 and then use your $70,000 as a prepayment instead of a down payment? Watch what happens to this loan when you put it down as a prepayment. So you make your first payment and then you add your $70,000 to it. And this column here easily adds up for you all of your principal payments. This is why I like using this as a teaching tool. You need to practice with it. You need to play around with it so that you can understand how much interest and how much principal you are paying when you're paying on any loan. Okay. All right. Now, if I put $70,000 as a prepayment, meaning I have already established the loan. We've already closed. Everything is signed. I'm making the first payment, and if you want to, you can add $70,000 to it. And I wouldn't recommend it. I'm just saying, if you did, here's what would happen if you did do that. I'm scrolling down here. That's $10,000 at 36 months. That's $18,000 at 60 months. Look at that. All right, and I'm going to go down to $70,000. Look at here, 70,000, 69,666.08. Okay. And look here. That's as close as I can get to 70,000 without going over. Right. That's 158 payments taken off this loan already. If I put remember, we have a 30-year loan. And we're talking about getting a $280,000 loan by putting $70,000 down. But if you put it as a prepayment, look over here to the right. Don't you still have right around $280,000? All right. But you're already 158 payments into this mortgage. All right. Which means, okay, let's get this calculator up. All right. So we're going to clear this out. And we put $70,000 down and 158 payments. Look at there. What? Divided by 12. Look at there. Look at that. Look at that. 13 years you've taken off the loan already. 13 out of 30. 13 out of 30. That means if you don't do anything else, with the same money, you have turned this into a 17-year loan. If you don't do anything else, you can just make the minimum payments for the next 17 years. And you still have a $280,000 loan, but you only have 17 years left on it. Why is it? Why is it we're told to do the exact opposite all the time? Because somebody's making money off these decisions. So watch this. Listen, anybody else have anything to say about David? What do you, David? I don't know if you're working. I don't know what's going on, but do you have anything to say about that? If you're talking, we can't hear you. All right, maybe you can't talk. That's okay. All right. So folks, anybody else, come on up to the stage and go ahead and enter into this conversation. All right. So let me show you what would happen. What would happen? Oh, let's talk about the interest we just saved. By putting that $70,000 down, all right, look at here. That saves us over $300,000 in interest we don't have to pay. Look at this. Let me move this over here. All right. Let me show you something. The bank wanted $531,000 on this loan. 531,000. We're going to put that. We're going to put that in the calculator. The bank wanted 531,000 if you kept this loan for 30 years. Okay. All right. So 531,000 and $10. Don't forget the $10. Okay. There you go. They wanted $531,010 interest on this loan. Now, if we go down and take a look at where $70,000 would take us, $70,000, we're scrolling down, and that's $70,000 cumulative. We're going to go here to this line, 69,666.08. We save over $315,000 in interest by doing that. Let me subtract 315,000. Okay. The bank wanted to get this, but if we keep our money back and put it as a prepayment, we get to subtract 315. Oops. Back it up. $315,000 from this. There it is. We've already reduced the total amount of interest that the bank is looking for down to $216,000 with one move. Instead of putting it down as a down payment, we use that money as a prepayment and knocked off 13 years and knocked off, oh my gosh, over $315,000 in interest. Why are people still teaching we should do prepayments? Down payments, when that money can do more work for us as a prepayment. Here are the numbers. This is why I need you to play around with Brett Whistle. Everybody on the internet, play around with it, and then see how you can optimize your interest savings with us. What does that mean? Optimize. Optimize means you can save a ton of interest, or you can save a lot more if, watch this, if you know exactly how much to pay and when to pay it. That's important because of how this loan is constructed. So if we were to, what if you're a fan of getting a 15-year mortgage or a 20-year mortgage or a 25-year mortgage? What does that do to the loan? Let's try to figure that out. Okay. So we have a 300,000. Let's get this off the screen. I want to show you something about amortization. $350,000. Okay. For 30 years. Okay, that's the wrong loan. Let me get the right one up. There you go. $350,000 for 30 years. All right. Now I'm going to show you a $350,000 for 25 years. That's 300 payments. I want to show you something interesting about these loans. If you have a, let's say I don't want a 30-year loan, I'll get a 25-year loan. That should save me considerable amount of money. Well, let's see. The very first interest payment on the 300, this is the $350,000 loan at 30 years. The very first interest payment is $2,187.50. The next one is $2,185.88. If I lower my term to 300 payments, look here, my very first interest payment is still $2,187.50. Did you see that? It didn't change. It is exactly the same. This is 300, this is 360 months or 30 years. This is 300 months or 25 years. Well, it's got to be different if we do 20 years. 240 months is 20 years. What does amortization do to a 20-year loan? See, we're looking at how can we mitigate these 7.5% interest rates that we can still buy a house or still buy investment property. If the numbers shake out, go ahead and do it. If you can afford the payment, get your house now. Stop trying to wait around for interest rates to come down, because interest rates have always been a liar. Interest rates are a liar. It's interest cost that we do something about. All right. So now here's a 20-year loan. Watch what happens with the 20-year loan. My goodness, it's the same thing. $2,187.50. What about, let's do 180 payments. Okay. Let me duplicate this tab. We're going to do 180 payments. That's 15-year loan. That's a popular loan. All right. 180 payments. All right. So let's get this out of here. Delete that. Delete that. And we're going to put in 180 payments. That's 15 years. That's got to make a difference. Okay. That's got to make a difference. The very first interest payment, again, $2,187.50. Can I show you something else about this? Over the next 5 and 10 years, on all of these loans, whether it's 360 payments, 300 payments, whether it's 30 years or 25 years or 20 years or 15 years, the amount of interest you will pay on these loans over the next 5 or even 10 years is practically the same amount of money. I need you to listen, experiment with it and see it for yourself. BrettWhistle.net, put in the same interest rate and the same principal balance, and then just change the term. Go from 360, then do another one at 300, then do another one at 240, and then do one at 180, which would mean 15 years. And let's see what happens over the next. Listen, isn't that something? So CC says here, how about a $1.6 million loan for 30 years? CC, can you come to the stage? Because is it possible for you to come to the stage? Because I'll do that one next. I'll be glad to do that one, whether you come or not. But listen, you don't have to say anything, CC. You can just type it in. But please come to the stage so that you can get credit for this next example. Just raise your hand. I'm going to invite you up. Let me see here. Invite to speak. You don't have to say anything, but if you just want to come up and help populate the stage, that would be wonderful. Wonderful. All right. So I need you to see what happens. So I'm going to go down to 5 years on all of these loans. That's 60 payments. Okay. Here is this one is the 360 payments, which is 30 years. We're going to go down to 60 payments. That means the bank would want $127,000 in interest total after 5 years. All right. Now we're going to take a look at the 25-year loan. Okay. This is 300 payments. We're going to go down to 60 payments. Look at this. $126,252. What? Go back. 127,996. 126,255. That's very little difference between the 30-year loan and the 25-year loan. Well, the 20-year loan certainly would have a bigger difference by the time we're into this loan by 5 years. Let's take a look. This is the 240 months. That's 20 years. Let's go down to 60 months. $123,000. $123,000. Back to this one, 126,000. Back to this one, 127,000. 20 years, 123,000. Between this one, the fifth, the my goodness, which loan is this? Maybe I'm mistaken. Nope, I am not mistaken. 240 months is 20 years. Look at that. Between the 20-year loan and the 30-year loan, about $4,000 difference in interest. But the payment is huge. Now the difference is the payment is a lot bigger. Okay. All right. So now let's go ahead and take a look at, we might as well take a look at the 15-year loan. It's 180 payments. We're going to go down to 5 years in. There it is. Well, $118,000, still practically 120,000, 123, 126, 127,000. Folks, it doesn't pay to get a 15-year loan. It just doesn't. Get a 30-year loan and let us help you pay it off in 7. Okay. It just totally makes sense to do it that way, because we show by putting a down payment down doesn't really help you. In fact, it actually hurts you if you put a very large down payment down. Use that money as prepayments. David, are you there? Oh, you can't.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Great.
All right. I just wanted to say thank you. And that when you asked me my question, that made total sense what you were saying. I just wanted to, and I'm gonna rest on top.
What made total sense?
I don't remember what the question was, but
okay. Well, at the time we were talking about putting a large down payment down instead of doing a down payment versus a prepayment. Okay. 70,000 as a prepayment,
and I could see it. They could see it clear as day when you put it on the screen. So thank you for doing that.
You are so welcome. You're so welcome. Cece, it's time for your example now. All right. Can you talk to us? If you can't, just flash your mic, and then we know that you're not in a position to talk. But if you can, say something this morning. How are you? And I don't think she can. If you listen.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Yes.
Good.
So you had a question about a mortgage.
Yes, I have a question about a mortgage for 1.6 million.
All right.
And the couple wants to pay it off in 3 years.
Oh my gosh. What?
How can that be possible?
I don't recommend paying it off in 3 years.
Okay.
The reason why is when you are attacking the debt, all right? When you're attacking the debt, let me show you something. Here's a 30-year loan. When you get, every time you make a prepayment, you skip payments. You get that part, right? Okay. But anytime you skip payments, you're skipping interest that you could save. All right. So this is your interest savings here. You're saving these. But the deeper you get into the loan, I don't know if you can see this, but do you see how the interest payments get smaller?
Yeah, I don't see it, but
okay. The interest payments actually get smaller. So the deeper you get into the loan, you don't get to save a lot of interest. So there's a certain point in which you need to stop trying to pay it off early and figure out, why do you want to pay it off early? All right.
So they don't have to pay it anymore.
Okay. But here's the thing. Why don't you, because if I can save a lot of interest, all right, then it makes sense. But if I put down several $1,000s to pay off $1 million loan in 3 years, that means I'm making huge chunks of payments along the way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
In the beginning, those chunks of payments save me a huge amount of interest. Towards the end, those chunks of payment, those chunks save me a small amount of interest. So, wouldn't it be better that I would save the maximum amount of interest that makes sense and then take my chunks of money and put it into another investment of some type?
Yes.
There you go. So can I listen? Here's a story for it, but I'm going to put that mortgage on anyway, Cece, because that's very interesting. So let's bring that up. Okay, we're going to add this one. All right, 1.3 million.
1.6 million.
1.6 million. All right. There we go. We're putting in Brett Whistle. And listen, I need you to play around with this as well. What do you do? Are you a realtor?
I am a realtor, yes.
Okay. I need you to play around with this Brett Whistle thing and
Right.
help your clients out a bunch. All right. So we're going to put in $1.6 million. Okay. And interest rate?
I don't really have the interest rate. I think it may be 4%.
Oh, no, it won't be 4% now. Let's leave it at 6. Okay.
Okay, let's say 6.
Let's leave it at 6. Okay. And that's if you got a bargain, if you can get a bargain. But trying to get it under 7 is going to be hard to do. Going to be hard to do. But let's leave it at 6. All right. So we'll calculate that. All right. So do you see I have 1.6 million. That means our payment is $9,592.81. That's just the principal and interest payment. Okay.
Right. So it's actually 10,000.
It's a total of 10,000. So so it's a little more than 1.6 million then. Okay. But if I put in 10,000, the payment is 10,000 even.
Yes.
On a 30-year loan.
Yes.
Okay. Now here's how you can use Brett Whistle to do that. I'm going to put in my $10,000 as my payment. Okay. I'm going to take out the principal payment of 1.6 million. I'm going to zero that out. At 6%, at 360 payments, then when I calculate, it will give me the principal. Okay. 1,667,916.14 for a $10,000 payment. How do you like that? Pretty good, huh?
That's good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I can know exactly how much the loan would be if my payment was $10,000. Now, here's what I need to show you. On the very first payment, Now, are you able to get on a computer, Cece, to watch these examples?
No, I don't have my computer.
Oh, that's okay. Listen, watch the replay then. All right.
Okay.
Because this is your example. All right. So the very first interest payment, Cece, I'll tell you what it is. It's $8,339. Isn't that a lot?
Wow. Yeah. So all that's going to the interest.
That's going to the interest. And the part of the $10,000 that goes to principal is $1,660.42.
Wow, that's nothing.
Now, here's how the thing is constructed. All right. I'm going to put also on another tab. All right. We're going to go to the amortization formula. Okay. Amortization formula. Here it is. All right. All right. A, the periodic payment amount. P stands for amount of principal. I, periodic interest rate, and N is total number of payments. In this case, the total number of payments that would go into this formula is 360. Okay. Then the interest rate would be 6%. Then the payments, all right, the payments would be, when we calculate the payments out, the payments would be $10,000. All right.
Okay.
All right. And
Yes.
all right. So now we have all the pieces and parts. When we plug all the numbers, when we plug the numbers into this formula, then it has a feature, which means in this formula, it re-engages the loan every month. It re-engages the loan once a month. Okay. And then what it does is that it takes 1/12. Now, this formula takes your interest rate and divides it by 12, and then turns that into their magic number that they use um, to multiply and see how much interest you pay each month. So this formula does that, and it says, and by having this formula, it re-engages with your loan every single month on what you have left to pay. Now watch what we do, how that works out here. I have a $10,000 payment. My loan is, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this back to 1.6 million. Sales says, what about $180,000? All right. I'm going to, we're going to get to that one in a second. We're going to do yours next. Okay. She's watching us online on YouTube. All right. So now I'm going to put this back to 1.6 million. All right. There we go. Because it's going to be easier to see. All right. And calculate that out. All right. So now at 1.6 million. All right. So what we're going to do. I got 16 million. Sorry. Too many zeros. Delete one. Now, if you make a mistake, you just can't fix the mistake and hit calculate again. You have to remove one of these. All right. You have to either remove the payment, the interest rate. You have to remove something so the program can calculate. And this time, I am deleting the payment amount, so we can get a new payment amount of $9,592.81, CC. Okay.
Okay, 9,000.
9,592.81. That's the we're working with. So now what that formula does, it takes everything we've just told it to do, and it says, okay, how does that formula turn around each month so that we can have a payment we can afford? But what is good about the formula, it keeps the payment the same each month. It keeps the payment the same, but every single month we pay a little less interest and a little more principal. You want to see how that works? So let's go back to the formula. All right, go back to the loan. In the first payment, 1,592.81 goes to principal. $8,000 goes to interest. In the second, on line 2, $1,600. So approximately $8 more goes to principal, while approximately $8 less goes to interest. Okay, but the payment stays the same. Every single month, the payment stays the same. The only thing that changes is every month a little more goes to interest. A little more goes to principal. A little less goes to interest. The key to this thing, that formula, is how much interest the investors make off this loan. That's how it's set up. So it charges you every single month. So what this formula does, it says, I'm going to make sure that whatever the program sees, okay, whatever this formula sees, it's going to charge that. And that is where we're going to beat the bank at their own game. Right? Remember that. So now I'm going to go back here. We're going to put this calculator up, and we're going to take a look at what would happen if we take our 0.06, that's 6%, and divide it by 12. There we go. It's 0.005. So this is the number that this formula uses. That's the magic number, not 6%, but 1/12 of 6% every single month. Now we're going to take that, we're going to multiply it by our $1.6 million. So we're going to multiply that by 1.6 million. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1.6 million times 0.005, which is the bank's magic number if your interest rate is 6%. And that gives us $8,000. Do you see that? That gives us.
So the payment is lower.
Well, no. That's just the interest part. That's the only thing the bank is concerned about. How much interest can I charge you? Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The very first interest payment on the amortization schedule is $8,000, and that's how they got it. They took their interest rate, divided it by 12, and then took your 0.005, which is the magic number, and then multiplied it by the unpaid balance, and therefore you get $8,000. So what they're looking for is your $1,592.81 to be applied to the principal. That's the only part that pays down this loan.
Mm-hmm.
If you pay this loan down by that much, the $1,592.81, isn't that pathetic out of $10,000?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Only $1,500 goes to principal. You will still owe at the end of the month $1,598,407.19. And because now that formula will re-engage this loan next month, watch this. They have to charge me interest on what they see. So if I take my magic number 0.005 and multiply it by the 1,598,407.19, let's see what we get here. I'm going to multiply it by 1,598,407.19. All the pennies matter. All the pennies matter. So your next interest payment should be $7,992.03. Did you see that? But you have a 5 right next to that, so they have to round that 3 up to a 4. So it'll be $7,992.04. If we take a look at our amortization schedule, that's exactly what we see on the screen. $7,992.04. Now, if this loan, CC, the formula says we're going to re-engage you. We're going to re-engage you every single month. And whatever we see, we're going to charge you interest based on what we see using our magic number. So what do you think we could do? Now, let me show you something. If somebody has a $10,000 loan, all right, I mean a $10,000 payment, chances are they have a little bit of money in the bank. I'm just saying. Is that a reasonable assumption?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say.
Let's just say they have this. They say they have at least $1,600 in the bank. All right. They probably have more. Okay. They probably have more. They probably have a lot more. So if they make their regular mortgage payment, do you see that the next principal payment would be $1,600? So do they have to wait till next month to give the bank an extra $1,600?
No.
No, they could give it to them in the same month they made the first payment, couldn't they?
Yes.
If they had it. So if they did, that would, by giving them giving the bank $1,600.77 early, we're paid down to line 2 on the amortization schedule. Remember, the formula says whatever I see, that's what I charge you. I'm going to charge you on whatever I see. So if you manipulate what the formula is able to see, can you manipulate how much interest you pay?
Yes.
So I'm on line 2. So now we're going to take a look at what would happen if I gave them that $1,600. All right. And I'm on line 2 of the schedule because I gave it to them early. We're going to take our magic number 0.005 and multiply it by the principal balance on line 2 instead. Let's say multiply it by 1,596,806 and 42 cents equals 79.8403. 79.8403. That is the interest on line 3, not line 2. If we give the money to the bank early, that magic formula can only charge me on what it sees. And right now it sees this number and gives me this interest payment. So let me ask you, there's an interest payment on line 2, $7,992.04. What happened to that?
Don't shoot.
Okay, what happened to that? $7,992.04. It's gone. You just saved nearly $8,000 in interest you never have to pay because we're controlling what the bank sees. When you control what the bank can see, you control how much interest you will pay.
And you don't have to worry about that no more. The interest.
No.
And that's because you pay ahead of time?
Because you gave them, listen, you gave them their money back. If you give them their money back on their schedule, that means when I pay them $1,600, I got to give them $7,992.04. That's your schedule, bank. Who says I have to play by your rules?
Mm-hmm.
If I have $1,600, I can give you the $1,600 early, skip out on line 2, save nearly $8,000, and now I'm on line 3 of the schedule.
Oh, okay.
Watch this. Okay, one more thing, and then I got to do another example. Now, in this loan, we have 19,000. Is this a home or an office building or whatever? Is it?
It's a home.
It's a home. Okay, I'm just showing you what would happen in 1 year. In 1 year on this loan, you pay this loan down by $19,600. Okay, but do you know how much interest they will pay in 1 year?
If they do it the old way.
If they do it the old way, they will pay $95,000. $95,000 just in interest alone. All right, I got to put this on the screen so I will remember to go over that. All right, with her. All right, so 180,000. So now, but that's if I do it the bank's way. But guess what? If I give them that $19,000, let's say they had a few bucks in the bank, and it says, well, we're going to give the bank $19,000 anyway, but the bank wants it over 12 months. Here's my question to you. Do I have to give them the $19,000 over 12 months?
No, you can give it to her before.
What? I can?
Yeah.
If I give them that $19,000 up front, do you realize I'm paid down to line 12 in just 1 month?
Wow, that's good.
So if I do that now the bank can charge me. They already charged me on the 1.6 million and I paid them $8,000. Okay. If I give them the $19,000 early, if I give them the 19 grand early, somebody just came into the room. You know, I listen, I saw him, but I could not believe it. Mr. Kurt Nugent. Hold on. Let me get my thing together here. Let's see if I can invite him up to the stage. Mr. Kurt Nugent is here. All right. All right. Kurt, how you doing, sir?
Hey man, I'm doing well this morning, man. I'm on the other side now.
Kurt, listen, for 253 of our shows, Kirk was our producer. And now
Correct.
This is show number 254. He says, Don, you are now ready to start producing your own show.
He's flying. Ladies and gentlemen, he is flying.
Well, Kurt, thank you for being here. I'm going to finish up on this
Oh, please do.
illustration here with Cece. So, Cece, here we got. We're going to pay that $19,000 up front, $19,648.22. So, if I have 1.6 million, okay, 1.6 million, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I subtract. All right, 1, 2, 3. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1.6 million. And I pay the 19,648.22 up front. So I'm going to subtract that from what I owe. So if I give them that money, they have to subtract it from what I owe, don't they?
Yes.
Okay, so let's subtract the $19,000 all at one time instead of in 12 monthly payments. So if we subtract it at one time, subtract, boom, boom, boom. All right, 19,648.22 equals 1,580,351.78. That's exactly what we see on line 12. So if I give them that money early, okay, the next thing that the bank will see is $1,580 and $1,580,351. Is that correct? That's what the formula will see. And that's what they have to charge me on, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So they're going to take that number and multiply it by my magic number of 0.005. That's 1/12 of the interest rate, 0.005 equals 7,901.76 because we have to round that 5 up. And where do we see that? On line 13 of this amortization schedule.
Wow.
So we just skipped all the interest payments the bank was looking for between line 2 and line 12. That's over $87,000.
Wow.
Oh yeah, listen.
That's real good.
If I can give them that money early, I save not just a little bit of interest. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Because the way that this thing is set up, it wants to charge you every single month. CC, does that help?
Yes. So
Yeah.
how long would it take to reduce the payments or the years paying that loan like that?
Well, I tell you what, we just took off 1 year, right? Okay. Now, let's say they make pretty good money. All right. And their discretionary is about $5,000 a month. Okay. So,
and that's how much they send in extra is 5,000.
Yeah, the 5,000. You see they're putting extra on 5,000.
Yeah, it's an extra 5,000.
Okay, so I'm just saying they have at least $5,000 in discretionary. That's after they pay all of their bills and everything. Okay.
Okay.
All right. They have 5,000 that's left over. So, what if they say, you know what? I don't want to keep using my savings because I just depleted my savings by $20,000 to put on this loan. Okay. So I'm going to build my savings account back up. How long would it take them to build up their savings if they're putting $5,000 a month in? They want to get back to 20 grand. They want to put back their 20,000.
4 months.
4 months. So over the next 4 months, I need you to see this. All right. Over the next 4 months, because we're starting at payment number 13 now, we're just going to make the minimum payment while we're putting that money back in the bank. So payment number 13, we're going to make. Payment number 14, we're going to make. Payment 15, we're going to make. And payment 16 on the amortization schedule, we're going to make. That's the next 4 payments. Now I have my $20,000 back, don't I? Can I drop it on this loan again and knock off another year?
Yes.
Another 12 months?
Okay.
12 months. Well, if I take that to 12 months, that would be line 36. 38 on my schedule. Boom. I'm all the way down here for
Right.
just a little bit of interest. But if I did it the bank's way, I just took off over 3 years on this loan. All right.
Mm.
In just 5 months.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
Because
good.
I know if I have the money available, all right, I could drop it on the loan and get great benefit for it. Do you know how to where we are in the loan in just 5 months? Where we are on this loan in just 5 months. If I paid it the bank's way, I would have paid this loan down by 66,476. Okay. That's how much would have gone to principal.
Uh-huh.
Guess how much would have gone to interest? $298,000.
Wow, that's good.
We just paid it down to here. Okay. We gave
In
them
5 months.
$8,000. Okay. We gave them $8,000.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna so four. So we gave them another a little over $30,000. Okay. All right.
Uh-huh.
8,000. So well, for about $40,000 in interest. You follow me? We paid it down to the
Mhm.
same spot. That's $40,000 in interest as opposed to $298,000 in interest.
Mm. Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Big difference.
Huge difference. CC, thank you very much. Tell us where you're from.
Maryland?
What? Okay. You're in Maryland? I mean, like
Yes.
inside or outside the Beltway? Is this house? Is this house inside?
It's inside the Beltway.
No wonder it's 1.6. All right. Tell me, is this?
Yes.
Listen, is this like a brownstone or is it like what is this? What kind of house?
So it is newly built.
Yeah.
It's not even a brownstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's newly constructed.
Newly constructed, 1.6 inside the
And
Beltway.
it's in Howard County. So Howard County prices are really expensive.
Wow. Well, listen, I can help these folks. Generally, I can help them pay it off in about 7 to 9 years. But here's where we're also going to focus. We can't put too much money on the loan at the wrong time, because what you want to get to the point, CC, is how much interest you're saving per dollar when you apply this money. So how much interest is each dollar working on? How much? Because that's what our program does. That's what our computer program does. Any more money than that, any more money at the wrong time, you're not saving the maximum amount of interest per dollar applied.
Oh.
So you want to save the maximum amount of interest with this money, and any more money you have, you want to put it into an investment. The whole idea of paying off a mortgage is not to pay it off fast. The whole idea of paying off a mortgage is to pay it off cheap.
Okay.
I want to
Makes
save
sense.
as much interest as I possibly can without violating the law of diminished return. I'll give you one more example, then I'll let you go. Here it is. I got a guy here in Huntsville. He's making more money now as an engineer than when he started on my program. When he plugged everything into the computer told him that you're going to pay off the last $260,000. Okay. The last $260,000 you're going to pay off in 3.5 years. Okay. And you're only going to pay $16,000 in interest. All right. And he said, oh, that's got to be good. I looked at it. I said, you're paying off the loan too fast and you're not paying enough interest. I thought that was the whole idea, saving interest and paying it off fast. I said, yes, but you put all of your money in here and the program will tell you what to do with when you put all of your money in. But what if you made $2,000 a month less? So let's plug that into the program. We plug that into the program. You're making $2,000 a month less. And then the program came back and said, now you're going to be out of debt in 6.5 years. And you're going to pay $20,000 in interest. He says, well, how is that better? I'm paying more interest and it's taken me twice as long. So why would I do that? I said, well, it sounds like you want to be out of debt in 3.5 years. He says, yes. Does this sound familiar, CC?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
3 years.
3 years. Okay. So it says now, what would you have to do to get out of debt in 3.5 years? He says, I'd have to put that $2,000 back into my budget. All right. Every single month. So we put that back in for 3 years. That's 36 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another half year. That's 6 months. That's 42 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's 42 months times $2,000 a month, which comes to how much money, everybody? $84,000.
Yes, 84,000.
So he would have to put $84,000 towards debt reduction. Remember, he's trying to pay off the debt. $84,000 in debt reduction. And what is the difference in interest? One was 16,000 and the other one was 20,000. So in other words, he's putting $84,000 into debt reduction to save an additional $4,000 in interest. Is it worth it? CC?
Yeah, if you're saving 4,000.
But if I took $84,000 and invested it, could I make more
Oh
than four?
no, it's not worth it.
Do you see? See, we get so focused on paying off the loan, we forget about what else we could do with that money. And that's what the P.I.L.L method does. It helps us to take a look at our money circumspectly so that we can not only save money and interest, but know when to stop saving money and interest and when to start making money and interest at the same time.
Right.
Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
So there's no way I would invest $84,000 just to get a $4,000 return. But by saving money, when I could invest it and make that compound interest, it's going to be so much more. That's
Right.
what we need to do for your clients. So see, if people want to know what to do, all right, here's what you do. I'm going to put this at the top of the screen for you.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to pin my link. It is ICE 10K, the number 10, the letter K.com, ice10k.com.
Okay.
And when you go there, you can get what's called a savings and earnings report. You click on the button that says get a savings and earnings report. Put in your financial information in there. All right. Put your financial information in there. And when you do, we will be able to tell you how much interest you can save on your loan by using the P.I.L.L method. And not only that, but the month, day, and year you'll be debt free.
Okay.
All right. And the interest you would save, we're also going to show you for the time you saved. If you put that money away for the time you saved, let's say we could pay it off in 7 years or 8 years. Okay. If you take that money and put it away for 22 or 23 years, can you imagine how many millions of dollars that would be worth if you don't have to give it to the bank? And we do that calculation for you as well.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's CC. CC, do you have a follow-up question?
I do have a follow-up question. It's just what you said to save the money as well. So what do you recommend, in Roth or IUL?
I don't that would depend on what's going on with each individual homeowner. Because we do have, with the P.I.L.L method, we have a certified financial planner on our team.
Okay.
And here's what we don't do. We don't give the same advice to everybody.
Right. It makes sense.
It makes sense.
Because everybody's different.
Everybody's different. Now, if you want the same advice for everybody, then you got to go to Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
Okay. Or Susie Orman or somebody like that. You want the same advice. But if you want tailored advice, if you want something that says, here's what you can do. I'm going to put this on the screen, everybody. Just like Kurt taught me. All right. If you want to know more about this, then you want to go to you want to get a savings and earnings report. I have it on the screen right now. Get a savings and earnings report. When you click on that, here's what you're going to do. You're going to put in your name. You're going to put in your email. You're going to put in a cell phone number. If you can see here, we supply you with the +1. Put your cell phone, when you put your cell phone number in, make sure there's no spaces. Put it right up against that 1 with no spaces, no dots, no dashes, and then confirm that cell phone number. We will send you a text with a code. All right. Get the code, put it back into the website, confirm it again, and then you can finish on, because robots try to get into our system. We're trying to keep them out. We need to know that you're a real live person. All right. So let's put that in and then click on yes, I want to save. That will let you into the form. All right. That will let you into the form, fill it all out. And guess what we charge for getting a savings and earnings report, Cece?
$199.
$0. Try free 99.
Free 99.
Free 99. It costs $0 to get the savings and earnings report. Now, if you want to work with us, that's a different story. Okay. But we're going to show you how your savings and interest pays for your lifetime program.
Okay.
There you go. All right. Now, just your little example here, we've saved over $100,000, well over $100,000 just in the example we showed you here today.
Yes.
I guarantee you our program doesn't come anywhere near that. And guess what? Since it's a lifetime program, what if they want to put another mortgage in or another one in? You pay for it once and you keep using it over and over and over again.
That's good.
All right. Cece, do you have another question for me?
No, that would be it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. All right. We'll put you back on mute, but don't go anywhere. Stay in case you want to get something else. Mr. Kirk Nugent, how are you doing, sir? All right. He must be in the background working. All right.
Oh, I'm here.
All right, man. So what?
How are you?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing fine. We're going to take a little break here. I'm going to get a drink of water. But tell me, tell me what are your feelings? What's your comments this morning about what's going on here?
Man, I'm just excited. Like a proud dad. Man, you're doing the thing, man. You're managing. I think it comes so natural. It comes so natural. I say to my kids all the time, it's anything worth doing is worth doing well. And the truth of the matter is, the difference between you and an expert at any given thing is repetition. Repetition in doing that thing. So you have been doing this for quite a while, and it's just a matter of you actually owning the fact that you're getting good at this thing, man.
Listen, man, I appreciate it.
I am excited for you, man. I'm excited for how this thing's working out, and looking to see how we can put it all together. I think we've got some real good opportunities for what you guys got coming up next. So it's gonna be nice. I think it's gonna be good, man.
Listen, I appreciate you. So why don't you go ahead, and I'm going to get ready for my next example. But why don't you go ahead while I'm putting my next example together? Put your contact information in the chat. Sure. If somebody listen, folks, do you see what I got here? If you're seeing my studio, Kirk Nugent helped me set up my entire studio. All right, this is our 254th show from this studio that he put together. He told me what to buy, he told me what to order, then came in and then set it up. Listen, if you want to get some information like this, and then he taught me how to use StreamYard, how to hook it all up so that I can be on Clubhouse and on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all that. He taught me, and then it says, here's some of the buttons to push. And look at these graphics. Look, it looks like a television show. Doggone it. Kirk did all that for me. If you like something like that for you, Kirk, tell the folks how they can get that for themselves, and how you can help them while I set up my next example.
Absolutely. Man, listen, as Don has said, man, my name is Kirk Nugent. And some people on YouTube call me the geek speaker preacher, but that's a whole nother story for another time. I believe that your live stream is your digital storefront. I'm gonna say that again a little slower because somebody just heard it and they're trying to let that thing sink in. I believe your live stream is your digital storefront. Because there's no greater way for people to experience what it is you have to offer, right? Your secret sauce, that special something that you add to the world, there's no greater way for people to see it and experience it than for them to see you do it live. And when they see you do it live, they don't need the taste test. Ask Cece. She just looked at what Dawn is doing live. She saw her own numbers live on screen. And there's no way Dawn could prepare for that. No way Dawn could, manufacture that. He's not a magician. He can't tell who's going to come into the chat today. So, but when people see you do your thing live, they're ready to do business with you in whatever way, shape, form, or fashion. They're ready to purchase the coaching program. They're ready to go into your course. They're ready to, sign up for their opportunity cost calculator. They're ready to do business with you because they've seen you do your thing. They've seen your superpower on display for all the world to see. So I help people to do just that, figure out what it is that their message is, figure out what it is their audience needs, what question can they answer. And then we package that thing in a way that allows for maximum reach and impact. Don's talking about streaming to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Clubhouse simultaneously. And he's saying that this is episode 254. That means there are 253 videos and audio rooms available for anybody to listen to, for anybody to hear. And those videos and audio rooms are going to do the job that they were intended to do for the rest of our time. We're not just talking about answering a question for today. We're talking about leaving a legacy. And that's what live video can do for you. Live video, it can help you grow and engage an audience. It can help you establish yourself as a thought leader in a given space, but it can also help you to set up steady streams of referral-based opportunities. I say opportunities and not income because the opportunities are what you make of them. They will come, but the only way you're going to make money off them is if you don't squander them. And Don has set up the systems behind those opportunities to ensure that he can not only help those who are in his target audience win in money and change the trajectory of their entire family's financial outlook, but he has also set it up to where choosing to work with him is the obvious and easy choice. We want to do the same for you. I put my digital card in the chat on Clubhouse, kirkrnugent.com/card. On there, you'll see several ways that you can work with me. But right at the top, it says "Let's meet," and I'd love for you to grab 15 minutes, jump on my calendar. We can chat it up. We can look at different things that you are doing and how we can engage your audience by utilizing the power and impact of live video. Don, thank you so much for the opportunity to share on your platform. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be your producer for 252 episodes. And I am excited to see all that goes from here.
Thank you very much, Kurt. Listen, folks, we're getting ready to jump into our next example. If you have a question or a comment, if you're new to the room, go ahead and click on P.I.L.L Method at the top and join our house so that you can get good information. Go ahead and invite a few more people in. I'm going to finish up now. We talked about with Cece. I just showed a couple of examples where we could easily save almost $200,000 in interest. David, did you have a comment here? No, you're kind of muted now. Yeah. See if you can fix that and come back in. Just jump right in when you can. All right, because we want to make sure we get everybody's comments.
That's what we want. We got to get everybody. We want to get everybody.
All right. So let's see here. So what we're going to do now is we show how we could save a lot of money. And I promised to show how we could save about $200,000. And in this case, we would, to get to where we could get in just 6 months, in 6 months, all right, by following this program, by doing what I showed Cece, by putting an extra $20,000 on, all right? And then as we save up some money, we can put more on, all right? Then, so we got down to, we were down to here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And then another 12 and 38. That took us down to line 38. All right, line 38, $289,000. All right. And so that's how much it would cost normally to get here. The amount of interest that we spent to get here, all right, if we follow the example that Cece gave us, was 40,000. Okay, 289. That's $258,000 in interest saved already that we would normally have to pay to get to this point in the mortgage. $258,000 to get to the very same place if I have $20,000 that I want to put towards this. This is phenomenal money. This is phenomenal money. And we don't want to discount the fact that you want to be able to invest in making money as well as saving money. And there's a point at which there's just not enough money to save. If we keep attacking this loan aggressively, there's not enough money to save once we get down far enough into the amortization schedule. Then you want to, along the way, adjust your strategy and start putting more and more and more and more money into long-term investments. Okay, I hope that makes sense to everybody. So while we're getting ready to do our next example, let me see here. Sale from she's watching us on YouTube. So you said, how about $180,000 mortgage? Now, let's go ahead and put $180,000 in. All right. Now, remember, this is the formula that we're using. This formula gives you like a step down situation. It re-engages your loan every single month. It takes your interest rate, divides it by 12, and then multiplies that number, 1/12 of the interest rate, by the unpaid balance, by the new principal balance every single month. But if you control what the balance is, you control how many payments you can eliminate and how much interest you can save because of how the amortization schedule is constructed. I'm telling you, listen, you can turn this whole thing around for yourself if you understand how it all comes together. All right. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at her loan. We're going to put in 180,000. All right. So see, all right. Sharon M. Jones says, congratulations. Don, thank you, Kurt. All right. This is on YouTube, Kurt. Congratulations to you. And thank you, Kurt, for the time you spent with us. And Teo says, just amazing to see how far you've come, Don. So we'll put this on the screen. Just amazing to see how far you've come, Don. I remember when you first started simulcasting. Nice work, Kurt. How about that, Kurt?
Hey, man, that's all right there. That is all right. Thank you so much, everybody. I thank you. And Don, don't. I know. Listen, you're already on a roll, so I want you to continue.
All right, let's keep rolling. All right, folks. Listen, this is where we are now. So we've got this formula. Let me put that back on the screen so we can add it to our flow here. All right. Here is the formula. All right. And this is what gives the strength to making money with how the bank makes money in interest. But just like the math is math. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. If they can charge you a certain amount of interest, if you disrupt one of these letters, okay? And in this case, when we talk about a periodic payment, periodic payment amount. All right. Amount of principal, net interest payments. So net of the initial payments. So if we talk about adjusting the time frame in which they get the money, then they have to plug in the rest of the information. You're disrupting their timing. And when you disrupt the timing that you and the amount of money that they have to work with, then this is, oh, I don't have that number anymore. I have this new number to work with. And then the program readjusts and says, let's work with the new number that we have, which means you now pay less interest. You've knocked off payments, and your results can be amazing. How would you like to save exactly how much they were supposed to charge you? Man, in any given month, here's how this program actually works. So we're going to put in that $200,000, no, the 180,000. All right, that sale said to put in. So we're going to put that in. Let's go ahead and there we go. $180,000, $180,000. Boom. At if it's a brand new mortgage, it's going to be like at 7.5. Okay. If it's brand new, 180,000 at 7.5. All right. But still, here's what I need you to see. In a lot of instances, even at 7.5%, this $1,258.59 in mortgage payment is probably still a lot less than rent. Okay, still a lot less than rent, depending on where you live, right? So you can still buy a house if it's $180,000 that you're working with at $1,258 a month. But look what it does to the principal and interest payment. Okay, I have a principal payment of $133.59 and an interest payment of $1,125. Let me show you what happens. All right, Shayo. Okay, Shayo, let me show you what happens if I lower the interest rate. Can we lower the interest rate today? Instead of 7.5, let's put in 5.5. I'm going to show you what happens when we do that. So we're going to duplicate this tab, 180,000. We're going to change this to 5.5. And that changes the payment. Remember, you got to take the payment out and to recalculate. You got to take something away so the program can recalculate. So now we have a payment of 1022 versus a payment of 1258. Okay. Now, but look at the principal payment. It's 197. When you lower the interest rate, the principal payment is higher. Now my principal payment is 133, 134. Why does that make a difference? Okay. Let me show you on the lower interest rate how powerful this is. And I'm going to use sales example. If I take a look at, remember, if you're new to the room, you want to play around with brettwhistle.net. I put it in the chat earlier. Scroll up and you can find it. This is an amortization schedule that gives you cumulative interest and cumulative principal. Why do home buyers, why do real estate investors, why do they miss the opportunities to save money on interest? Because they don't have an easy way to add up the interest so that they can make good decisions about how much to save. Okay, they're looking at the interest rate and say, well, if I get a 3% interest rate or a 4% interest rate, that's better than 7%. So that means it's a good interest rate. No, because that doesn't tell you, the interest rate doesn't tell you what the interest cost is. You want to manage the interest cost. You always want to know what the interest cost is going to be. So if I pay this loan down like the bank wants me to, and this is the 5.5 loan, all right, in the first year, I'm going to pay this loan down by $2,400, and it's going to cost me $9,000 in interest. That's what it's going to cost. Dang it. Look at that. But but with CC, if we prepay, let's say, now this isn't the P.I.L.L method. This is just understanding the bank's math. Okay. This is just understanding the bank's math. I'll talk to you about the P.I.L.L method in a second. But if we were to prepay the $2,400, put it on line one, 76. If we were to prepay that, do you know we'd be down to here in 1 month? We'd save all the interest between line 2 and line 12. We'd knock off in just 1 month. We can eliminate 1 year worth of payments that we normally would have to make to get to this point. 1 year is gone by prepaying the $2,400. Okay. That is at 5.5%. Let me show you if we put $2,400 on the 7% loan, 7.5% loan, $2,400, look what it does. It takes off nearly 17 months, between 17 and 18 months. $2,400 prepaid on the 5.5% loan only takes off a year. You prepay the same amount on the 7.5% loan, it takes almost a year and a half off. Do you see what I mean here? Understanding how this amortization schedule works month after month. Now, Don, you've gone over a lot of information here. How can we learn this information? You can't just learn it by listening to me on Clubhouse, because we can't go deep into what you need to have to understand what's going on. Okay. Number one. All right. Let me see here. Sheo. Yeah, this is, I put in 180,000 at 7.5%. So what interest rate would you like me to put in? So you can add it to she wants to know, is that hers? Yeah, I'm trying to work on your example, but give me some more information so I can flesh this out for you. How much is your interest rate, or how much is the interest rate you would like me to put in? It doesn't have to be yours. It could be somebody else's. Could be fake. Okay. It could be an example. So give me an interest rate to work with. 7.2. All right. Let's do that. So 180,000 at 7.2. All right. So we're going to do that. 7.2. 7.2. There you go. And there it is. So now my principal and interest payment is $1,221.82 at 7.2%. Here's how much interest the bank wants on this: $259,855.20. How do you use 7.2 to give you $259,000 in interest payments over 30 years when all you borrowed is $180,000? Can anybody tell me how that's done? The only way that can be done is to use this formula, okay, in a step-down fashion where it sees your new principal payment every month, because it calculates how much goes to interest. Therefore, it calculates how much you go to principal each and every month. If you only make the principal payment, what the bank is looking for, your principal and interest payment, you're going to pay them 360 times. This thing is set up to charge you 360 times. And every time it uses your balance, it gives you a brand new mortgage. So it's not one mortgage times 7.2. It's 360 mortgages. You take your 7.2, divide it by 12. It gives you a new magic number, and they multiply that by the unpaid balance 360 times. If you let them do that 360 times, then you will pay $259,885 in interest to borrow this money to buy the house. In fact, you turn a $180,000 purchase into a $439,000 purchase if you let the bank have its way. Shaya, is that what you want? Everybody, do you want to pay twice for your house? Is that what you guys want? Or do you want to take control of this thing and learn about it so that you can control what the formula can see? If you control what the formula can see, you can control what the formula can charge. Oh, I got to write that down. If you can control what we see, what the bank sees, you can control what they charge. Can control what they charge. I love it. I got to do a new graphic on that. Okay. So it's important that you understand the step down nature of the amortization schedule. Once you understand it, now you can optimize how much you're saving. All right. Shea says, no, I don't want to pay that. She says, I don't want to pay that. So here's how your loan breaks down. Look at this. $141.82 goes to principal. $1,080 goes to interest. That is your very first payment. David has a point. Says at Randy. Oh, okay. He's talking to Randy. All right. So $141.82 and $1,080 goes to interest. She says, she says, all right, let me put this on the screen for everybody to see. And so the folks in the clubhouse can hear. All right. I'm a first-time home buyer, so I'm weighing my options. Okay. All right. I like it. Weigh your options. So listen, what you can do is go to ice10k.com, Shayo, ice10k.com. I'm going to put it in the chat. Ice, the number 10, the letter K.com. Boom. There you go. And contact my office. All right. And we can help you. We can help you with if you want to weigh your options, you need somebody on your side of the table that understands what the bank is doing. Here's what you don't want. You don't want the people who are selling you the loan to try to educate you on the loan. Not a good move. You need an advocate for you that understands what's going on. So when they give you their different products, you see, the people at the bank aren't bankers. They sell products. They're salespeople. We just call them bankers. They're selling bank products. And when you get a bank product, you want somebody that can help you to understand what the bank product is doing to you. They're trying to explain what the bank product can do for you. I will explain what it's doing to you so that we can configure a bank product that is best for you. That's what we do here at the P.I.L.L Method. We're not just good when you get the loan. Oh, no. You want to talk to us before you get the loan as well. And we can help you to setting up the loan the right way is more than half the battle. And then attacking the loan, not only aggressively, but optimally, saving the most interest that makes sense, but also investing at the same time. That's why we have certified people who do investments. Okay. Certified financial planners, CFP, certified financial planners on our staff that understand not only opportunity cost, but critical point analysis. Critical point analysis helps you to determine what is the point at which more becomes too much. So with money, there's a point at which if I put this much money to the penny, I'm going to get optimum output. I'm going to save the most I can in interest. One more penny, and then I start losing money. That's the critical point. What is that critical point for you? It's different for your neighbor. It's different for your cousin. It's different from your mom. It's different from your brother or your sister that's way across the country. We're going to construct a program that is just for you and your finances alone, so that the optimum time to attack the loan with the optimum amount of money is going to be great for you. All right. So that's what's going on here. All right. So Shale, what else you got for me on this loan? So if we prepay, just show you, if we just prepay $142.67, okay, if I prepay that, I save $1,079.15. Now I'm talking to a guy that is he is a professor at UCLA, and I'm telling him that in a case of prepaying some money, he says, why would you prepay that when you can invest that money at 8%? Okay. And I gave him, in this case, I would say, well, Doc, if I prepay $142.67, I don't have to pay this $1,079.15. He says, but you lose the opportunity to invest that money. I said, well, if you invest $142, how long do you have to keep it in the investment to make $1,079? Now, it was different numbers. But what he came back was 51 months. A small amount of money would have to be invested for 51 months. That's almost 5 years. To get a return of $1,079.15. Okay, watch this. If I prepay this, I don't have to pay this now. That's an instant savings. Instant. That's $1,079 I don't have to pay to the bank. Period. Right now, I don't have to pay. So if I do that, if I do the return on that, what is my ROI? Return on investment. I spend this, I get that. Now, for everybody, also, she says, also, what will my mortgage be? You mean your mortgage payment? The mortgage payment on this is $1,221.82. $1,221.82. That's just the principal and interest. That does not include taxes and insurance. Shale. Okay. All right. So, where was I? I was explaining. What was I explaining? Because I brought the calculator up. Oh, if I prepay, my interest savings is $1,079.15. If I divide it by what I'm putting into the loan, $142.67, so I don't have to pay this amount, divided by 142.67. There it is. Look at here. You move the decimal place 2 places to the right. That's a 756% return on my money. 756% return on my money. I prepay $142.67. That saves me $1,079.15. So what about the people who say, Don, that's not money in your pocket. That's not money you have. How do you count that? All right. If I invest it, that's money I have. That's money I'm making. So I explained that if you owned a restaurant, all right, you have to order food for the restaurant. Every restaurant has to mitigate the problem of spoilage and food waste. So anytime you have to throw food away, that increase your cost. Okay. So now, that adds to your overall cost. And then you have to subtract that from the money you make. When you subtract your cost from the money you make, that's your profit. Does that make sense, everybody? All right. So if I can come in as a consultant and I said, listen, Let's reduce your spoilage and how much food you have to throw away that you can't use. What if we do reduce that by 23%? 23%, which is huge, by the way, in the restaurant business. You could do that by 23%. Now, your costs go way down. If your costs are down, and then you subtract that from the money that you're making, does that give you more profit? Do I have more money to spend? Because I don't have to pay it, you see. So I didn't increase the prices. I didn't increase the number of average customers. How I made money was reducing my cost. So if I can reduce my cost, then I can perform an ROI on what it cost me to reduce that cost. So I can pay, if I pay a consultant a certain amount of money, how much did I invest in the consultant who reduced my cost by 23%? I could do an ROI on how much I paid and how much I saved. Boom. That is good math anywhere you go. You don't have to bring money in to increase your net worth or your profits. You don't. You can do it by reducing expenses as well. So if we reduce our expenses by $1,079, okay, then the money that I use to do that with gives me a 756% return on my money. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first show. Ciandra, I see you in here. Why didn't you come to the stage? Listen, folks, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Kurt Nugent came by to say hello. We've got a few minutes left. I'm going to go by and I'm going to meet with Kurt. Kurt is still going to help us to put banners together and things like that. But I just want to share with you some things here. All right. So we want to make sure that if you want to know more about what we're doing, get a savings and earnings report. Get a savings and earnings report today. Go to ice10k.com. Get your savings and earnings report. Also, guess what? On that same card, you can get a book, my book. The very basics of what we're talking about is found in my book on Amazon. You can go to ice10k.com and find that link where you can buy the book online. It is the only book on Amazon that explains the amortization schedule and gives you any idea at all of how much interest you could save. You have to start thinking about your money differently. A better way to eliminate debt. Now, this book isn't an ABC 1, 2, 3, but it does give you the concepts you need and the tools you need to save a ton of money. All right. And so that you don't have to give it to the bank. So get the book as well. Not only that, but you know, Kurt, I can't find my things to show how to become an affiliate. I need those, so I need to find those. But here's what I'm going to do for that. All right. I'm going to go back to Kurt coming on.
You want me to walk it? You want to walk through it right now?
Yeah,
Or
listen.
you want to wait till after?
No, man, listen, this is good stuff. Listen, it's live video.
Good. All right, so hit the share button.
Hit the share button.
Yeah, there should be a share button on the bottom of the middle bottom of the screen should have a share in StreamYard.
Okay.
And you should see you should see some presentations up at the top.
Okay. Am I on the side? I don't know where you're talking.
So you're in StreamYard, right?
I'm in StreamYard. Yep.
You in the let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing here. So
Okay.
yes, I'm in there too.
Right.
You hit the plus button, plus sign,
and
it will open up. It'll have
like the new layout here, plus sign here.
In the layout on the very bottom where it says settings and all that stuff in the very middle of the bottom down there, the bottom there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've got
so
go ahead.
Yeah, if you have Yeah, if you hit present right there,
right?
and then you'll see where it says slides.
Oh, got
Yeah.
it.
Click on that.
Yep.
Click on that.
Mhm.
And one of them says client work. That one is the one.
The one that says what?
Client work.
Oh, I don't have that.
Really?
No, I don't. That's why I couldn't
Oh.
find it. So if you can, okay, wait a second. I'm clicking slides and I got Google Slides and I got your computer. That's all I have. It says you have no slides.
Huh.
So they're on your computer, not on mine. So if you can add those for me.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely add those. I thought they were added to your account.
No.
That's my bad, man.
Listen, man. Listen. Did you listen, y'all? Did you catch what was happening? I was being taught how to use this thing live by Kurt. I mean, you
Live,
get this.
live.
This is how it's done. So these are the slides I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I thought they were there.
No, he's going to add those to what he's going to add that to where I have brand or whatever. He's going to add that.
Absolutely.
So I can have these. Okay. And
Absolutely.
Kirk, not only is he a master at showing me how to use this, he's a master at putting these slides together. He can do it like on the fly. I can be talking about something, and by the time I finish the sentences, he's produced a new slide, and boom, there it is. I love that. All right. So here's what we got. So if you want to become an affiliate, ladies and gentlemen, go to ice10k.com and become an affiliate. We have affiliate training coming up in 2 weeks. You don't want to miss it. Affiliate training coming up in 2 weeks. So go to ice10k.com and become an affiliate. Why do I want to become an affiliate? If you believe in what we were talking about, if you see some value here, I need your help in getting the message out. And this is how we do it. I need you to get as many eyes as you can on the YouTube channel. So what you're doing is figuring out how to what we're doing is figuring out I put you on mute, Kurt. What we're doing is figuring out how we can get more eyes on the program to teach more people. But even with YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, I can't do it all by myself. But if I have your help, here's what you can do. By sharing this with people who want to know more, then you can become an affiliate and then refer those people to us. Here's how you would do it. You would tell a story about how people can you saw a video that a family paid off their mortgage in 6.5 years. You saw that video because we have that video. You can say, I saw that video, paid off their mortgage in 6.5 years. Guess what happened? All right. They did not have to change their lifestyle to do it. And that's all you say. People who have been looking for a better way will resonate with that and say, how can I get that? Then you just say, go to the YouTube channel. And that's all on your, we'll give you a 10K card like mine. Okay. You get a 10K card like mine, a digital business card. And on there, you'll be able to see all the stuff that they need to see. All right. So I'm going to go back to my screen here. All right. We're going to get rid of this one. Oh, I see the slides there now, Kurt. All right. So we're going to get rid of that. And I'm going to put on ice10k.com. Right. ice10k.com. Boom. We'll put that up so you can actually see my digital card. And then when we give you a, you can see my settings here. All right. Then you'll have a button on your card that says all episodes. They can click that button. All right. Let me show you what I've got here. Let me put this on the screen so you can see it. All right. Let me add that to the stream just like that so you guys can see it. So now that you can see, all right, here's where I was on ice10k.com. All right. And this is my digital business card. And so what I did was then I clicked on this button that says all episodes. When I click on all episodes, look and see what happens. This will be on their phone. And look here. There's 229 episodes of our show right here. They can watch it right from their phone. So let's say we'll click on this first one. Look here. This is what happens. Oh, we got Grant Cardone. We got Grant Cardone coming on there. Let's go ahead. Let's get past this. Yeah, Grant. Okay, Grant. Thank you. Look here. There you go. They can watch a bunch of episodes on that. Then you follow up with them 2 days later. Okay. No more than 48 hours. No more than 48 hours. When you follow up with them, guess what? Then you can click on refer a friend. When you click on refer a friend, then you can fill out that information and send them to us. If you send us one person who has $100,000 in debt and they become a client in 1 month, we'll pay you $300. Send us a second one. We'll pay you $400 for the second one. For the third one, $500. For the fourth one, $600. And for the fifth one, we'll pay you $1,200. You add all of that together, that's $3,000 in a month just by sharing the videos and sending us, clicking on refer a friend. Look at that. Refer a friend and filling it out. Put their name, their phone number, their email address. Oh, that's become an affiliate. I'm sorry. I clicked on the wrong thing. Let me go back. All right. I want to refer a friend. All right. So that's not work. Oh, become an affiliate. Maybe. I got to fix the buttons. All right. But when you click on refer a friend, then you fill out that situation, and then you can put in your name and number, and then that will be linked to you. And when they become a client, you get paid. All right. When you become an affiliate, you just tell us how you want to get paid. Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, PayPal. It is as simple as that. That's just one thing we want you to know. Remember, get your savings and earnings report and get your book and become an affiliate. That's what we have to share with you today. I hope this information that you received today was valuable to you guys. All right. So we're going to take care of that. Bring me back. And let me go and see if there's any more comments or questions. All right. I think I've handled all that. Let me see. Momlet and me says borrow and pay college tuition in cash. Borrow or pay college tuition in cash? Oh, that's a question. No. Listen, if you got cash to pay tuition, listen to this. If you have enough money to pay for tuition in cash, why don't you use student loans instead? You can sign your student up for student loans. All right. Your child up for student loans. And when do you have to pay back student loans, ladies and gentlemen? What, when they graduate? Yeah. Do they accrue any interest while they're in school? No. All that happens when you graduate. Okay. So now you take the money that you would have paid for your tuition, put it in an investment. All right. A safe investment. And for the 4 years or 6 years that they're in school, maybe they go all the way to get their master's, you paid for it with student loans. And now it's time to pay back the student loans. You take back all the money that you've put away, pay off the student loans immediately. And any money that money made over the life of that investment, you get to keep. So no, don't pay cash, use student loans, invest that money. What else do we have here? I think that is it for the day. Ladies and gentlemen, we're being here. We're getting ready to get out of here in the next 3 or 4 minutes. But I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank Kurt for coming in. And I'm going to be out of town going to a conference, all right, on finances. I'm going to be in California. So on Sunday, there'll be a replay here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We're going to have a replay. It won't be live, but we'll be back here again on Wednesday of next week with another live show. Kurt, thank you so much for what you've done, man. You've done Sandra, listen, she had her hand raised a long time ago. Sandra, if you're still listening, I'm bringing you up to the stage. Okay. If you're still listening, because I mean, she works hard in her job, and I'm coming to California where she is. She took her hand down. All right. So, all right. She put her hand back up. Let me see if I can get her to come to the stage. Invite to speak. Sandra, what did you need? How are you doing?
Good morning, and yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I have a few minutes left. What did you want to say to us this morning?
No, I'm just, I'm glad, every time I see your posts, I'm definitely glad to come on here because, I'm definitely using the program and liking what I see. And I think if you just trust the process, then you'll be good.
You will be good. Just trust the process. All right. And she's finding that out, trusting the process, and you will be good. Ladies and gentlemen, we have tens of thousands of successful clients on this program. And we're going to say, and I'm going to go over more about the program in depth on next Wednesday. But for now, we're going to hear from Dr. Eric Thomas, and we're going to say goodbye to everybody for today. So let's bring that up. All right. And let's hear from Dr. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher. E.T. the hip hop preacher. Let's see what he has to say. I've got let me see. Where's my new one? Here it is. All right, folks. See you next week.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here on, in the